Today we're going dragon hunting, baby. That's right, tribe. This is Scribe's guide to the bonus mission on Tatooine that's going to get us access to Mandalore. Let's do this. We find ourselves on the wonderful planet of Tatooine. You are in Phase 3 of the Rise of the Empire TB, and you noticed we've got a new special mission here that gives us access to Mandalore. In order to do this, we need to have 25 successful attempts, and it does require Mandalorians. But first, before we get into the nitty-gritty of why are we doing this, how do we do this, we've got to talk about what is the benefit, okay? So over here, how dare you click away? Over here on the bonus planet of Mandalore, we do have a number of rewards. Think of these 3 rewards as 3 stars for the planet, but you can only actually get 1 star if you hit the maximum level of territory points on the planet. So hitting the first threshold will actually give you 50. This is to each and every guild member. Will give you 50 Chirotech of the computer, as well as 175 Mark III get currency. If you hit the second threshold, you'll gain another 50 Chirotech. This time for the shock prods, which is the more usable and more valuable Chirotech in my opinion, as well as 350 of the Mark III get currency. And then finally, if you complete the entire planet, you're able to get an additional star, bumping up the overall rewards of your guild in Rise of the Empire TB. I wouldn't say that this is for everybody. The combat missions on Mandalore itself do require either full Relic 8 or full Relic 9 characters, particularly for the Mandalore combat mission. It is incredibly high-end, endgame sort of combat missions there. I appreciate not everybody's going to be doing that, but if you do want to get the extra rewards, because the special mission for the unlock as well gives you 50 Mark II get currency per successful attempt, it's worth doing just to try and get at least 1 or 2 of those thresholds done, get yourself some extra Chirotech and all that sort of good business. Okay, so currently my guild is at 30 out of 36 successful attempts over here, earning ourselves an extra 1500 Mark II currency. Now, what do we need to actually do this? First of all, you need to have at least Relic 7 Mandos, and there are 2 prescribed characters that you must use. One is Bo-Katan Mandalore, the latest legendary for Mandalorians. I know that's pretty exclusive at this point, but over time people will unlock her more frequently. And the other one is Beskar Armor Mando, who's a bit older of a legendary and usually quite widely unlocked at this point, as he is a pilot for the Executor fleet, which is fantastic. The third character that you can use is going to be any Mandalorian ally, Relic 7 minimum. Okay, in my experience of what we're going to be covering over today is with 2 specific characters. Firstly, it's going to be with IG-12 and Grogu, here's my personal preference, and secondly, it's going to be with Paz Vizsla. Before we jump in then, let's take a look at the modding. Here is my modding for my IG-12 and Grogu setup. So, Bo-Katan Mandalore, Relic 8 for me currently. She's got 301 speed, 85,000 health, and about 32,000 protection. I can say, you can drop this speed down to like 260, still do perfectly fine. Try to keep her a little bit chunky. The important things here are 3 tiers, okay? You want her to be fast. This goes for all characters, in fact. Fast, survivable, and decent offense. Those are the thresholds you're looking for, okay? So, her offense then is at 11,800. You can certainly do this with less. I've gone for offense sets and health sets with all offense primaries apart from on the arrow. That's going to be speed. You can drop that for offense if you want, or even for health if you want more survivability. IG-12 and Grogu I have modded differently to my standard modding. Normally I would have him a bit faster, but I've gone for maximum health here. I want him to be as thick as possible. He's going to be healing up his allies based on his max health, and he's going to be gaining additional percentile max health based on the number of Mandalorian allies. So I've gone for triple health sets with all health primaries and as much speed secondaries as I can muster. I'm getting just under 180k health at Relic 7 with about 60k protection and 305 speed. Now you can drop that health and have more speed and find some sort of balance in between, and I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. Finally then, we've got Beskar Armor Mando. My Beskar Armor Mando is modded for survivability, speed, and offense, okay? So he's 274 speed, and I'm running an offense set and a defense set on the offset, with a protection primary on the arrow. You certainly don't have to do this. You can do this a number of ways. So the other thing is, my offense is 10,500. I could certainly get that higher by dropping that arrow and throwing on an offense arrow there instead. Up to you really, but use these as sort of guidelines of where you should be trying to get it, okay? Good business. Let's go into the footage then. I do like that we get to see that intro. So, a few things that we should say. What you do should depend on the Krayt Dragon's opener. If the Krayt Dragon starts with this Bile attack, I highly recommend that you use Bo-Katan's second special to cleanse that off and do all the mass assists, okay? You don't want to be debuffed, you don't want that speed down that exposes that poison, none of that business, okay? Actually, I think we're immune to poison, but never mind. Okay, so because the Krayt Dragon did the Bile attack, we use that mass assist. If he doesn't do the Bile attack, use Bo-Katan's first special to throw Armor Shred on him, okay? You'll notice we're gaining stacks of Ancestral Resolve here, which is going to improve our survivability further. I use IG-12 and Grogu to use second special, targeting Bo-Katan Mandalore, getting a couple of assists. I now go into Whistling Birds, but honestly, you shouldn't do this. If the Krayt Dragon has this special available over here, this is the Devour special at this top, don't go into Whistling Birds with Bam, because he's going to eat a character. It might be Bam and you don't get the Whistling Birds, or it might be an ally and you've got less characters available to you to use the event special ability Ballista and free the swallowed character. Okay, so don't do what I do. Don't be like Scribe. He eats IG-12 and Grogu. We immediately use the Ballista ability and get back IG-12 and Grogu. Then he throws up all over us again. Like, he just does what he wants most of the time, I'll be honest. Whistling Birds kick out and we get up to 38 stacks of Ancestral Resolve. I throw that Armor Penetration on and we always use our special abilities targeting Bo-Katan, calling her to assist, okay? After this, the other benefit of using IG-12 and Grogu is that Bam's second special with the Child's Protection ability is able to put damage immunity on IG-12 and Grogu. That is the only Mandalorian ally that is also a scoundrel, the only one that can get that damage immunity. Just gives you a little bit more comfort and survivability in this battle. So, let's continue on then. A final special from Bo-Katan Mandalore does see off that Krayt Dragon raid quite nicely. Krayt Dragon raid? Krayt Dragon boss. And there we have it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, but there is a lot of RNG in the abilities that the Krayt Dragon uses and the amount of damage he can kick out. Let's now take a look at using Paz. So this is the modding setup from a guildie of mine. He sent me his mod setup and he sent a video guide of it. His Bo-Katan Mandalore is modded slightly slower than mine, same about health and protection, and a little bit lower on the old offense in the end. So there or thereabouts still works. His Bam is actually incredible. It's Relic 9, 295 speed. So his Bam is actually going to go before Bo-Katan Mandalore, which is great in normal circumstances because Bam will be able to go into Whistling Birds, and then Bo-Katan Mandalore can do a mass assist and you get a lot of Whistling Bird stacks. Overall though, about the same sort of health and protection. He's also rocking 12,500 offense. That's pretty huge. Finally then, Paz over here is gone for an offense set and a potency set, rocking what? 100k health and protection, roughly, give up there or thereabouts, and only 242 speed with about 7,500 overall offense. And here we have it. Once again, the Krayt Dragon starts off with the Bile ability. Now, his Bam is going to go into Whistling Birds because he wants to try and gain advantage of the mass assists, alright? He does an AoE with Paz and then does the second special. Always use that second special if the Bile ability has been used. You'll cleanse off all those debuffs, get the mass assists, and his Bam goes up to 20 stacks of Whistling Birds. So this is my problem. Like, that, the Krayt Dragon could have eaten characters at this point and it would have made it a little bit more awkward. Now, we have had more Bile thrown out, but we got 21 stacks of Whistling Birds, somehow breaching the cap, and do real good damage, up to 40 stacks of Ancestral Resolve, get that Armor Shred on the Krayt Dragon, and then Bam gets eaten. Whenever a character gets eaten, use the Ballista special ability, and it will free the character that was consumed. Super, unless the Krayt Dragon is in Enrage. Okay, after this, it's just basics. You will notice that with Paz, you aren't able to put him in damage immunity, like I said before, but not only that, we are hitting those thermal detonators, those dynamite sticks on the ground, which can be used to blow up the field, cleanse off your debuffs, and that sort of business. I personally don't think it's that worth it, which is another reason why, we do damage there, but it's not great damage. It's just okay damage. After this, you're pretty much set. You can just basic your way through. It's not too tricky overall from what we've seen so far. We've had 6 drops out of 30, which is what, a 20% drop rate there, but it's more than enough for us to actually get the mission unlocked, get the Mandalore special mission unlocked. Alright, I think that's going to about do it for today's video guide. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm kind of curious, guys. Have you used someone other than Paz or IG-12 and Grogu? Have you tried it with, I don't know, Maul or Jango Fett or something like that? Let me know, and if you've got any video footage, please do send it my way, as I will be curious to find out what is the most reliable third character for this. Make sure you like the video if you haven't already, and consider subscribing to your voice scribe. Big shout out to our wonderful, wonderful patrons. You guys are awesome. I'm going to see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.